guys about that. What I was gonna tell you guys. We'll see. We'll see. Yoo-hee. It's your girl Cassie King, and I'm coming to you live and in color. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you are notified every time your girl come live to you or drop a video. Okay, as you guys can tell by the title, it's been a whole lot of going on, and I'm just gonna kind of go down the breakthrough with you. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know, for those of you that are just coming in, if you were new here, what I like to do here is what I like to call the Bible Tea Party and or the verse of the day. So, and we also talk about trending topics of individuals, such as you can see for the title, what is going to be given on this particular part of our segment for today. Now, one of the trending topics is going to be about two different celebrities or famous individuals or popular individuals, whatever you want to call it. Oh no! Age ain't nothing but a number, and now ain't nothing but a thing. Okay, so before we get started, y'all, I'll talk to one of my peeps. But yeah, so you are only as old as you feel. So I just want to let you guys know that we will be going over our trending topic in this segment. If you guys been hanging with me all day, thank you so much, or all morning. Thank you so much for being with you. Well, we already got through our verse of the day. The verse of the day is going to be available to you guys probably this evening. If you guys weren't on the live, then you're going to have to wait till I come back and edit everything, just in case there were any interruptions. We already got the verse of the day. We also had our Bible Tea Party where we went into the Old Testament and we got to see how the Israelites' kingdom has been successfully destroyed. The Lord's grace has been pulled slowly but surely away from the Israelite people due to idolatry and just a lot of false idols worshiping, and all of this. Just a whole bunch of violence and just a lot of chaos is taking place right now in the Old Testament. So y'all go over there, catch up on that, binge watch some of those binge-worthy live streams so that you guys can not only get comfortable with reading your Bible, but also hopefully the Holy Spirit can hit you in the back of your head and help you stop with that lust. Okay, enough is enough. We tired of seeing the lust, okay? Absolutely. So you keep on hanging out with your girl, okay, Black? What's up, Diamond? So I want you guys to know that those are going to be available to you today. If not today, then that means that there's probably some things I need to edit and make sure I take out all of the interruptions that we did have today, because y'all know the enemy been working. But the Lord's grace has been upon me and the Holy Spirit is on me, because you guys, I have been slow to my temper lately. And that is, only Jesus can do that. Well, now today's trending topic is going to be about your girl Ice Spice and Deshae. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about, first things first, I want to talk to you guys about Miss Ice Spice. Okay, now Miss Ice Spice is getting very much so. She is a rapper who is from New York. And she did a lot of, she made a lot of music. She did some songs with Nicki Minaj, and she also had videos, and I'm not sure if she's on tour, but she's also she got some little riz going for herself. She also does her own commercials, a little bit of modeling, fashion, all of the things. So she's kind of up there in popularity when it comes to that celebrity vibes and everything else like that. So anyway, Miss Ice Spice, she was out at a restaurant. I wanted to say there was McDonald's, and there was some young black lady that came up to her. Some young lady was like, oh shoot, there go Ice Spice, or whatever the case may be. She went up to Miss Ice Spice, and she tried to talk to Miss Ice Spice and kind of give her like a compliment, or maybe she was having like a fangirl moment. I'm not too sure, but Ice Spice gave very much so. She thought she was too good. She was giving very much so. She was rude, nasty, and you know how some of them girls from New York can be real harsh. And the girl from LA was like, well, first of all, where you from? Because where you're at, we don't get down like that. You in my territory now, so you need to watch how you come at me because I'll beat you up. And so one thing led to another, and then they had a little scrap. Okay, now the young lady who wanted to speak to Ice Spice, because she kept on saying where you from, it was getting very much so that the young lady may have been a gang banger or a gang member. Now that's what they were saying. But based off of what, from my understanding, which y'all know, I don't be doing too much celebrity TV no more because the Lord convicted me because He said that gospel is sin, and I said, oh, even that counts. Okay, so let me watch that. But the lady was going over to compliment Ice Spice, and however, when Ice Spice gave her the vibe that she was rejecting her compliment, it seemingly got the little girl upset, got the young lady upset, okay, and made the little girl want to scuffle. She wanted to squabble with her at that point because it's giving very much. So I came over here to be nice. I came over here to give you your kudos and say, hi, Miss Ma'am, how are ya? And you give very much so you want to be rude, nasty, and arrogant. And at the end of the day, since we from LA, that'll get you beat up. Well, I guess one thing led to another. They said that Ice Spice held her own. Now that's what they said. Okay, bro. Don't be outside leaking like that. You better get your security because you know she's supposed to be like a celebrity. From my understanding, she needs like a security. Don't you know? Like after some point of being popular, even if you're just a streamer, don't you supposed to have like some type of security or assistant or something like that on standby, a driver on standby? It's getting very much so. Ice Spice just outside with it. And that's okay, you know, she's still a regular human being, she's still a regular girl. But when you get to a certain level of celebrity status, people can be a little weird, okay? So you know, and then the top thing about it is too, when people get to certain celebrity statuses and stuff like that, people that are not celebrities, they look at you like a little, like you a walking lick. They want to come and rob you or harm you, or it'd be a lot of envy, right? Like Black said, envious and jealous, exactly. So you don't want to be by yourself. I mean, even if you still feel like, you know what, like the fame don't change me, I'm still hood. It is what it is. Gutta woo woo woo. Okay, friend. But at the end of the day, you're not Superwoman, and there's people that get really jealous or envious, or and so like this young lady, she didn't take rejection. She wasn't taking that rejection very lightly. She was very much so. Oh, you want to reject me? Well, then you can get beat up. How about that? So that's what it gave. So the young lady, she did do a video. She said on the video, like basically, and I'm summarizing and paraphrasing. Y'all go watch it for yourself because I don't want to be copyrighted. You know, I'm new to this. I'm new to this, okay? But she made a video and she was basically saying, well, I went to go see. We went to go eat. We was in Hollywood, and basically we ran into Ice Spice. Somebody said, oh, there's no Ice Spice right there. She said, I went over there to give her a compliment. Ice Spice was like, you can go there. What you doing over here? Gave very much so nasty, rude attitude. And she said, well, first of all, where you from? And Ice Spice was like, where you from? And she was like, well, you in LA. You in my city. You might want to simmer down, or you can get beat up. And so one thing led to another. The girl felt the need to humble Ice Spice. Okay? And so when things like this happen, when you being rude and nasty towards people, and people are wanting to give you compliments or take pictures with you, and you get to a certain level of famous or get to a certain level of popularity, you want to make sure that you remain humble. You want to make sure that you try to diffuse situations like this, because it could have ended into something even worse than that. You get what I'm saying? And not everybody can fight. And even if you can fight, it's only so many fights that you can squabble in before you can get that one person that just be like, they don't want to take an L, and you get what I'm saying? Take it there, all the way there. So this young lady, which I want to say she seemed really young. People don't take rejection well, especially in LA. Like me, I'm from California. Okay, it don't really take much. Like I was just telling them over here, the Lord has been helping me with my short fuse. Okay, I know it's been the HPG. Like it takes the slightest thing for me to be like, okay, what's that? Like, you my friend already told, like, what we gonna do? Like, we gonna start with son. Like, let's go fight. Like, I be ready to fight. I be ready to squabble off in the little slightest little thing. So, and I'm from California. So, When you go and somebody reject your compliment, I remember it was somebody who, maybe this is a Cali thing, I don't know, but I actually took my number back from somebody one time. Somebody had asked me for my number on Instagram, and they didn't use it the way I wanted it to, so I went and deleted the message, took my number back. They come like, why you took the number back? Don't play with me. I don't do well with, don't play with me. Because if this was like the original way when people had to write their number down on a piece of paper and then page you and then you had to go out of your way to call somebody, that would have been okay. Give me that piece of paper back. And that's the same thing with the girl. She's like, you know what? Give me my compliment back, Spot. And I'm pretty sure that there's other little girls watching this and seeing like, oh, I want to be like Ice Spice when I grow up, get outside, go squabble with people, and da 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 da. And oh yeah, you know I got you, Black. I got you. So, you know, these young little girls, they looking at this like, okay, well, I wanna be like Ice Spice when I grow up, and I wanna. Da, 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 da. No, ma'am, knock that off. Knock that off, okay? Because you don't want to do what you see other people do because you can put yourself in a more dangerous situation. In this case, it was just a little scuffle, okay, blah, 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 whatever. But let me show y'all something real quick, because you know what, another thing too, when it comes to these celebrities and these famous people, so y'all gotta understand that they are still human. So, you know, not too much on Ice Spice. I feel like at the end of the day, she probably was like, dang, I can't even go and have a meal. Like, ugh, let's go get, like, ugh. You know, she probably felt like that. But that's what comes with fame. You know what I'm saying? That's what comes with being popular. And who was it? I think was it SZA? You know, she be lying all the time. So I really don't know if this is true facts. But she did say there was a situation where her grandma had just passed away, and she lost her phone, and she was in the Apple store trying to get her phone so she can get these pictures and these images of her grandma. She was really sad, and so there's people in the iPhone store like, oh, can we get a picture? She's like, my grandma just died, and they're like, can we get a picture? You know what I'm getting? You know what I'm saying? So people really don't care about the fact that you're hungry and you're just trying to sit down and enjoy your meal. All they see is Ice Spice. That's all they see. So, you know, it can go hand in hand, but at the end of the day, it's like you definitely want to make sure that you're watching how you handle yourself. And when you get to a certain level of fame and you get to a certain level of popularity, you got to watch how you treat people because you never know what can happen in that situation. Some people, you know, for example, I feel like, and this is just my opinion, obviously, but some people, they get a little status and then their hands get big and then they start forgetting that there's other people who you never know if your song helped that girl get through a breakup, or that song probably helped her get one of your songs probably helped her with her teenage problems or whatever the case may be. You never know. So here they come to help, you know, give you kudos, and the first thing you do is reject them. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be real careful with how you handle individuals when they come up to you after you reach a certain level. And then also people that is watching that, I just want to show you guys right here is written in Proverbs chapter 3. Okay? Like Black said, he said, this is something written in the Bible about being hot. He said, puffed up and full of worldly, foolish pride. Ain't that the truth? It's written right here, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Do not envy the violent or choose any of their ways. Okay? And the reason why is because when you see Miss Ice Spice outside squabbling this and that, okay, boom, whatever. But not everybody can squabble. Not everybody is going to let up. Not everybody's going to walk away from getting beat up. Sometimes there's people who get beat up and then come back with a pew pew. Or what if that loss, they go and take it out on their school? You get what I'm saying? So just be careful. Like it says right here, do not envy a man of violence and do not choose any of his ways. For devious people are repulsive to the Lord, but his private counsel is with the upright. Okay? So y'all want to be careful when y'all going outside being violent and showing out in front of your fans, because people watching it, y'all be careful. because the Lord hates violence. For the Lord detests the perverse, but takes up right to his confidence. Okay? So y'all need to hold on and I was gonna da da da. No. No. Oh, she came up and pulled up on me, so I had to show her da 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 da. That's the devil. And you know there's an agenda with these rappers. Now that's another story for another time. Do not be jealous of cruel people. Do not try to copy the things that they do. The Lord hates wicked people, but he makes the righteous people his friends. The Lord curses the homes of wicked people, but he blesses the homes of righteous people. So again, it says it right here in the word that the Lord hates that. He hates it. It's an abomination. So stop going around, being this humbled and, make it seem like, is this humble the word? Did I make up a word? I'm a genius. But when you get to a certain level of popularity, just be reminded there are people watching you. Now there is an agenda where they plot people in certain situations where they want people to be distasteful to other people, put off that situation where, okay, I'm gonna get into a fight so that way they can get you put in that jail, because there is an agenda for people to listen to rap songs so that they can put you in jail because the rich get paid off of it. It's this whole thing, which I've already talked to you guys about. Be careful what you guys do. Be careful what you guys do when you want to mimic these rappers, okay? Be careful what you guys do when you guys are trying to idolize these rappers and these popular people. Don't do what you see them do better. Okay? And in terms of Ice Spice having this flaw about herself of where she want to feel like she want to go outside and squabble, you got lucky this time, but the next time might not be so good. The next time person you might not make it out alive. Some people are being unalive for less than that. So be careful. You see Rihanna house that got pew-pewed. It's a lie. Okay? So that's that on that. I hope that Ice Spice can, take heed and hopefully she can simmer down. I don't know what it is about certain people that get to a certain level of fame, but I've heard some things about her in the media where they say that she's genuinely just not really nice. And there's some people who are just genuinely mean people. But when you're in that industry, the enemy already do want to pull strings, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But yes, that is the incident that took place with Miss Ice Spice. So if you are watching her, don't be like her, y'all. Don't be going outside thinking that it's cool to squabble or cool to fight, because you're going to go to jail. Okay? You're going to go to jail, and then the Lord hates that. So you're going to go to jail and hell. You're welcome. All right. So another person that I wanted to talk about today was the one and only Deshae Frost. Now, they say that, first of all, what's going on with all the violence with these people that's popular? Why everybody want to hit? Did I miss something? What's up, Felix? So, Manuel, what's going on? Is this like some type of squabble virus that went out? Because I'm trying to figure out why everybody hit. Why don't nobody want to keep their hands to themselves? What is going on in the world? So today's trending topic is going to follow up with Deshae Frost. Now, it looks like Deshae Frost may get canceled for this last situation that he's in, okay? It seems like he was on this little vacation trip. They was on a yacht, doing rich people stuff, on the yacht. Pop, lock, and drop it, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, there was a live stream about it. They was live. Deshae Frost, he is a streamer, and he's been doing YouTube and Vine since he was a little tiny child, okay? And he's grown now. He's doing his thing. And he's doing his little streamer thing, and he's really, really funny and very entertaining. But it gets very much so, he has this thing where he gets really handsy with women, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Because remember, he had gotten to like a little violent situation with his own sister Brooklyn, I would believe, at one point. But anyway, back on topic, him and the lady friend was going back and forth in this argument that they had that escalated. Now, there's a rumor speculating. I don't know how true it is because, gossip is a sin. We don't want to say with things that aren't true. But there is a rumor going around speculating that she didn't want to sleep with him. And so his ego was bruised, which caused him to have a violent um, altercation with her. Okay. Now, at this time, I really don't know how the argument even came to pass. I just know that there was some back and forth going on between her and him. Okay. Now the girl was on the yacht. They was all on the yacht. They was minding their business, having a good time. One thing led to another. They kept arguing back and forth. She had took her wig off and was starting to take her braids down. Okay. Now he began to call her names. She began to cuss him out. First of all, at first she wasn't even cussing him out back. At first he just kept like getting in her face, hovering all over her energy. Me personally, I got a bubble. I got an invisible bubble that I created. Now you could choose to penetrate that bubble, or you could choose to leave that bubble alone. And may the Lord be with you. And it was given very much so. He was all up in that girl bubble. He was here with it, all in her face, all of this. It was a lot going on where he was really, really in that girl's personal space. And it got to the point to where they had escalated from being her kind of like avoiding him, like, oh, whatever, to him really, really getting in her face. And then it got to a point to where he was going to throw her wig off into the sea, right? And I don't know what that's about, but that's like kind of like, it's really offensive when you take a black girl's hair or any woman's hair, period, and you want to do something damaging to it. It's humiliating. Okay, it's a humiliating act to do, even if she has naturally long hair. It's humiliating. Okay, it's mean and it's nasty. Just why do you want to be that way? Why are you doing that to her? And she still was like, whatever. Like she still was, they both were throwing verbal blows at one another, and they began to call each other names, and they were both verbally aggressive to one another. But then Deshae decided to proceed to throw her wig in the sea, and it was given very much so. Once he did that, it was like things really started to she started feeling some type of way. You could tell in her tone. But her friends, at one point, her friends were standing up saying, no, don't throw her wig in the sea. And there were still people that was standing around recording the whole incident. Okay? But at the end of the day, I feel like everybody was in the wrong, those who were sitting there witnessing that, because when he started doing things to where it was humiliating her and it didn't give, like, it was not a joke no more, that's when somebody should have been like, hey, bro, okay, leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? But then it got to the point to where he became even more violent, even more aggressive, to where he slapped her. And he slapped her so hard that she fell over to almost like to her side. And all of this is on camera, by the way. Nobody stopped recording. Nobody went to help her get up like that. I think she had some of her female friends with her that was kind of seeming like they was like wanting to help, but it was given very much so they still wanted to. You could tell by the energy that nobody really cared for her best interest at heart. Okay, but at the end of the day, I feel like everybody was wrong in the situation because they were standing around recording, and there's no excuse for witnessing an assault on anyone, especially a woman. There's no excuse. When a woman is, or anybody especially, but if somebody is defenseless, where they feel like they're being bullied at this point, somebody got to step up. Hey, man, leave her alone. Okay, enough. You already threw a wig in the water. Like, she can't get that back unless she go in there and go swim after it. And she would have been a clown and jumped into the ocean after that wig. Then what? It would have been ha 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 ha, laugh laugh laugh. Like, I really don't know what the purpose of that was. But then to turn around and slap her is crazy. Okay? Then to make it even worse, it got to the point to where he even tried to kiss her on the mouth at one point. And she was like, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with that. But he did come out with an apology video. However, in my opinion, the apology video very much so gives he has no remorse, because he was coming up with every excuse in the Bible He was coming up with every excuse in the book that he could think of to justify his action. Well, she did this and she did that and she said this and she said that and this, that, and so, I take accountability, but she did this and she said that and I'll take accountability, but either you take accountability or you don't. And this isn't the first time that he done something to a female, whether it's his own biological sister. And I think his last victim was an underage child. Being violent with a woman after humiliating her and yelling at her in her face, and then trying to force her to kiss you on the lips. And it wasn't like he was like being forceful, but it gave like, if it was from the side, if you look at it from how the camera angle, and then the people are still recording, nobody's intervening, like it was a lot of weird, this is like a lot of weird energy. Anyway, that's why I don't play with it. That's why I don't have friends and I don't do too much playing in people's face, because anyway, yeah. I'm offended for her. Anyway, she was walking, and like from an angle you could tell like she was going to turn her head like this, and then he like kissed her here. And then she was like, she turned her head back this way, but she was already uncomfortable. And she keeps looking over her shoulder. And it's like, why are you, like, what's going on? Okay? So, kissing somebody that doesn't really want to kiss you back, that's sort of an assault in itself as well, because you got to be real careful with that kind of stuff. And he just assaulted her multiple times in many different ways, with like just taking her things, destroying her hair, cussing at her, calling her names. And she's obviously defending herself, talking back like, hey, I don't care, I'm not this, I'm not that. And, it was like a mutual argument. But it's like at the end of the day, nobody really seems to have defended her. Nobody seems to like want to pull him away and like, hey, bro, that's a female, like chill, or like it was just a lot of like really uncomfortable moments that they had on this live stream. So based off of how I'm looking at it, Deshae may have some mental health issues, or he might need to address something that's going on with him internally, or maybe he just don't need to drink no more. Maybe there was some alcohol involved and you need to let leave that liquor alone for smoking or whatever. I don't know. But we definitely need to pray for him. I pray that he gets delivered from whatever it is that causes him to be this way with women, because it's not honorable. It's not showing any sign of honor, and it's not respectful. And there's other YouTubers that have came out, and other streamers that have came out and reviewed the incident and was like they might want to disassociate themselves from him just for the sake of business. So it's affecting your money, it's affecting a lot of things, and I don't know what that's about. But I say that to say, sometimes you might want to just like kind of chill when it comes to whatever it is that's causing him to become violent. And it's been a while. Black said, it has been proven that if you come from an abusive family, chances are you're going to be abusive. See, that is true. That is true. If you come from an abusive family, you can quite really, like, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not too much on my mama and them, but I'm not gonna say no names. I ain't gonna say who it is, but I've seen women in my family be just as much as abusers as the men in my family. It goes hand in hand. It can go either way. A woman can beat you up and lay you out up in here, or a man can beat you up and lay you out, and you ain't got no chance of getting out of here if somebody want to be violent, because I come from a very violent background, very violent household. So my fuse is real snob. That's why when we were talking about Einstein, I felt like if I was at that girl's age, I probably would have reacted that way as well. Not even gonna lie. That's why I don't judge people. That's why I stay like try to be a loving person that I am, because I do have a violent background as well. So I'm not judging at all. You get what I'm saying? If you come from, but that's what I'm saying. That takes a lot of working through. That takes a lot of praying and a lot of counseling. I've recently been in counseling, and it's barely starting to take some of its effects, and the Lord has been with me. Okay, because like with me, I hit. So, and the Lord's been helping me with that very much. Okay, and so those who were standing around and people, his friends as well. That's why I say you gotta watch you gotta watch who you keep company with as well. You want to watch who you keep your company, because there's some people who will sit up there, act like they're your friend whole time. It be a lot of stuff playing in the background that you don't even know is happening. Why this person is doing this or why this person is doing that. Now, maybe Deshae felt rejected, right? Because there was some rumors going around where she was showing pictures of screenshots of messages between them where Deshae had allegedly said that, because I gotta say allegedly because I didn't read this or see this part. If it's true, comment down below and show me. But I don't want to be putting so much up on Deshae Frost. But because nobody's perfect, right? But he supposedly has said that he had slept with her, or she had gave him and her had exchanged some type of grown up interaction or whatever, right? And whether they was in the boom boom room together or not, it doesn't matter. It still doesn't give you the right to act out irrationally, right? So from the screenshots I've seen and from what some of the stuff that the girl had said, seemed like there's some really childish energy, number one. And then number two, it seems like there was on Deshae's part, and I'm speculating at this point, he may have felt rejected. So here it is again on today's topic. Rejection does cause violence. You want to rebuke the spirit of rejection when you start feeling rejected sometimes people reject you, and it could be according to God's will. God probably don't want that person in your life for a reason. Some people be having the spirit of Jezebel on them. Some people be having chaotic energies on them, and they reject you because your energy is probably light or whatever case may be. You never know. But sometimes rejection isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes rejection is a good thing. But it's given very much so. Deshae may have felt rejected in the situation, and that's why he wanted to go ahead and slap that girl to the ground and to the floor like that. Now, what's really out of pocket though, I can't get over is the people that's standing around, because not one person. It was just from the angle that I saw it. It was a lot of demonic energy on that yacht anyway. Y'all know I'm spiritualize everything. The guy that was recording, that was going into the yacht, he had some girls that were in front of him going down into the yacht. I think two of them didn't have no shirt on. I don't know what they was going down there to go do. Little lusties. But he was going down, and he was like, wait a minute, he was like, is he about to hit her? And boom, Deshae, I Tyson that girl to the floor. Come on, Deshae. The word can change people's attitudes towards violence, humble people if they receive it. Ain't that the truth? You know I got some scriptures for them, too. You know I got some scriptures for them, Black. Zeno, what's up? Hey, how you doing? In the words of Wendy Williams. Okay, so now another thing I wanted to say too, when women, ladies, when you interacting with these dudes and you wanna get the glitz and the glamour of his lifestyle, so you kind of woo him into inviting you to the stream and inviting you to his yacht or the yacht party that he's invited to, or whatever the case may be. And then when you get there, you start acting weird. Don't be mad when he want to slap you. Because sometimes girls be doing stuff like that too. Not saying that it's right, because all of it is wrong. But I'm saying, be careful. Because I know there's some women who be like, oh, I'm gonna try to make him think that it's good like that, so I can go to the yacht party with everybody else. And then when we get there, I'm not gonna pay him no mind. Like, he is a child, he's a boy to me. And like start stunning people. You know, people be doing stuff like that. I really don't know what it is that made him so upset with the girl, but it gave very much so he really liked her and he thought that it was like a mutual thing. This is what it's giving. Y'all go and y'all watch the live stream or the clips that people have made, and then y'all come back and y'all come in the comments and y'all tell me what y'all think. But it was giving very much so he was watching her and she was giving like negative energy, and he was like kind of feeling like, dang, what's up? Like, you wouldn't act like that before we got here, now it's giving, so I don't know. But this isn't the first time that Deshae had a dispute with a female that got ugly. Okay, so y'all be careful when y'all going around doing certain things, and when somebody rejects you, that don't mean go put your hands on them. That means go ahead and let them go and get out their way, because rejection could be a good thing. Rejection is not always a bad thing. And if it's not about rejection, if it's something else that you're dealing with, maybe you come from a violent background, or you come from a violent family. Like I told you, I come from a very violent background and a violent family as well. My family get ignorant. Okay, and a lot of times when you want to think you're getting ignorant, you think that you're doing it for a good reason, like, oh, I had to hit so and so because they said this or they did that, and you feel like you got the right to put your hands on somebody. Okay, that's not okay. The reason why I'm laughing is because I genuinely used to think that was okay. Like, no, now I'm about to dog you, because like, that's how my brain go. It used to go like, so basically you want to squabble. Like, oh, so basically, like, you trying to get down or what? Like, that's where my brain go to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, but it's like, y'all need to pray and counseling too, because when culturally speaking, if your mother or your father was violent, or maybe there's some type of issues that harbor inside of you from a child, where you were rejected by somebody from the same gender, or do you have some type of insecurities or whatever, you can project it off on individuals, and it's a real bad look, and it can turn into something very dangerous on not just your spirit, but on your business, your money, your bloodline. Like right now, we are in the Old Testament at the Bible tea parties, and we see how King David's sin has affected the entire bloodline with that lust. There's been a lot of violence. There's been a lot of R-wording happening. A lot of people have been FA'd. A lot of people have been assaulted, all because of what happened when your grandfather, what your great-great-grandfather did. And so a lot of it, especially when you become popular, when you become famous, and when you become this kind of individual where it's like, it gets very much so you want to be known, and somebody bruises your ego on camera, you're going to want to hit. You're going to want to squabble. And I'm not one to judge, because I used to be like that. Like, it didn't take much for me to be like, okay, you trying to fight or something? Like, what's up? Like, let's go ahead. Like, what's good? Are you dumb? What's up, country boy? Stanford, what's up? Because some people really don't understand. Rejection, it can cause you to be violent. Look at what happened to Miss Ice Spice. She got slapped on while trying to eat her meal. Ain't that crazy? And that's why I said, back to Miss Ice Spice, when you get to a certain level of being popular and famous or whatever, she probably genuinely was like, look, I'm just trying to eat my meal, and here's somebody else. But that probably was like the sixth or seventh person, like, girl, can I eat? Especially if you're hungry, you get hangry. Like, please don't play with me before I eat my food. I've been intermediate fasting. Anybody can get popped off on right now. So not too much on people. You get what I'm saying? But I want to show you guys some scriptures to help y'all if you guys are having moments like this. And we ain't going to judge Deshae, because it get very much so he needs some healing, he needs some prayer, and he needs to mature in certain areas when it comes to how to handle rejection and how to. All right, have a good time fishing. Y'all better catch 10, 20,000 fish. No, I'm just kidding. God bless you. And head over to YouTube, subscribe, share, and then you can catch up on anything you missed. Okay, Black? God bless. What's up, Sean? All right, let me show you guys. Gonna slap that girl to the floor like that. You done lost your mind? Now, Doug said that I think they said that Doug said he don't want to even work with Deshae no more, which is crazy. Because Doug, the nerve, who are you to judge? If anything, he needs men, especially men that are a little bit older and stuff like that. Not saying that Doug is older, but I'm saying people, he might need male figures in his life to come and pray with him and let him know, like, hey, man, when a female act like this, man, you got to do this. Like, slapping is crazy. And he probably needs a support system more than anything, rather than going and being like, oh, yeah, like, come on now. Let's go to Psalms 82. And then it's so embarrassing when you get a live, everybody gets to see, and then everybody gets to talk about it. And your hair ain't done because you've been swimming or whatever. So now you're taking your wig and like, I'm pretty sure she felt very embarrassed before even getting slapped or assaulted. Then this guy takes it even further to try to kiss you on the mouth. You already know, like, I'm cool. Like, what are you doing? Oh no, that's not it. It's 82. I say, guys, be careful when you are trying to go and hang out with people. I know that going to a yacht party sounds like a good time, but y'all gotta be careful you smoking and drinking, because not everybody is your friend. Not everybody has your best interest at heart. Some people genuinely want to take you there so they can embarrass you. You never know when you will become the butt end of somebody's joke. And this is for the peers that was just, everything was sweet, thinking that too. And it get very much so y'all was trifling for that, because same thing, at the same time, somebody should have spoke up for her. Somebody as in another male that was present at the time should have tried to diffuse the situation. And I feel like the other males were just as in the wrong as he was, because they did not pull him to the side like, hey, bros, like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Psalm 82, verse 3 through 4. You must help poor people and those with no family to receive justice. Help those who are suffering to receive help they need. Rescue the weak, helpless people, so that people cannot hurt them. So when you witnessing stuff, you seeing, like, I feel like as a man, you wanna look. Nobody likes a bully, and nobody likes a bully. Like, I get it. Deshae's popular. I get it that he has and everything else. Cause of poor and the oppressed, and the needy, deliver them from the hand of the wicked. Okay? If you want to speak up for the vulnerable, hey, all right, God, all right, calm down. Like her friends, they were trying. It was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, don't throw her wig in the. Don't do that, because Deshae gives, like, he's such a jokester. He's a jokey kind of person that when he's gonna do something that's really really offensive, but try to make it into a joke. Like, no. The Lord examines the righteous and wicked. Those who love violence, he hates with a passion. That's the same thing when I tell you about the Ice Spice situation, right? God doesn't like nothing about violence. You know what I'm saying? People always, oh, for Christian. No, you not. Not if you're going around slapping people on the yacht. Not if you're going around squabbling in front of all your fans. It's annoying. I'm tired of seeing my peoples outside. And I think they need prayer. I think that maybe he should even take a break from work and work on himself, because it's too many incidents where he's acting out when it comes to women. Maybe he doesn't take rejection, or maybe he's tired of women acting like they like him just to be able to be around his, lifestyle. And then when they get around the lifestyle, they switch up, and he's had that time and time again. He like, you know what? I'm about to just start slapping people. Like, you never know what's going on. I'm speculating, but I'm just saying. Let us behave decently. Romans 13:13. Let us behave decently in the daytime, not coursing in drunkenness, not in sexual immorality or debauchery, not in dissension, in jealousy. Okay? So again, what's immorality? People be thinking that they can get them some, then they don't get none, and then next thing you know, they want to hit. And then the same thing on the other, it's like somebody think they gonna get some, and then when they get none and they hit you, it's like you got to watch out, because that spirit of Jezebel, it causes violence in people's lives all the time. And if you got that energy real tough, where you woo somebody into doing something with you or doing something for you or whatever the case may be, it's like it's a lot that can come with that. So getting all loaded on the yacht and all that, it can cause us to be violent. It can cause us to be just. It can cause us to be all kinds of different ways. We're supposed to handle ourselves properly and honorably. Okay? And that's written in the word. So hopefully those scriptures you guys take home with you. Hopefully you guys can get into it. It's not hard to be nice. It's not hard to be what's the word, cordial, copacetic. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta go around. You don't have to go around putting your. There's a way to diffuse the shit, and for people that's just standing watching it, God is watching. You could have spoke up. You could have said something. You could have encouraged him to go the other direction, but no. It was given. Some people were actually encouraging, in my opinion. It was given like the energy was like kind of given like, ha ha ha, look at him, he gonna do something stupid, and it's good for views or whatever. But not all money is good money. So you want to watch out for that. So hopefully those scriptures can help someone that's experiencing things like this, where it's like you get invited somewhere and your friends start acting weird, somebody hit you. Like say for example, that I can't think of her name, the lady that whose friends took her to Mexico, or she took all her friends to Mexico, and ended up unalive because of jealousy of them, because they got drunk and jealous. What was that? What was that lady? What started off a regular fight? It was supposed to be a regular fight, I guess, and they wind up unaliving her. She was a black woman, a business owner, a friend. Okay, for everybody, her name was Shakira. They said Anquilla Robinson, 25 years old, from North Carolina. She passed the code, took all these out. The friends, the mom, or told her family that she had alcohol poisoning. Certificate, it said severe spinal cord injury. So, this young lady at the time, she was only slapped side, but if she would have slipped and hit her head? You get what I'm saying? What if she would have got up to try to defend herself and he hit her again and broke something? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, these situations she thought she was going to go on the yacht and have a good time, but it turned out to be she was made fun of, and people and Deshae made her the joke the whole time, and he made her feel weird and uncomfortable, and maybe made him feel weird and uncomfortable. Maybe the feeling was mutual, and he just reacted differently than she did. And it could be a number of reasons why this took place, but just be careful, because a lot of this comes from the energy of the devil. All right. So hopefully y'all take those scriptures and y'all read them and y'all meditate on the word. I just pray that, I pray that Miss Ice Spice get her some security, okay, and maybe even take some humanity classes, or some social studies or something, figure out how to handle her fame, because it gives she rude and mean. And I hope that the young lady that fought her knows how to manage rejection when she gets older, and not get herself in another violent situation where it could have turned into an unaliving. Hopefully she takes this as a lesson learned, because now it's all over the internet and it will follow her for the rest of her life. So read your Bibles. That's why we have the Bible. That's why I pray and I read my Bible, because I too like to hit. That's why I stick to myself and I don't do all that friends and stuff. I had one friend and the devil stole her. So that's that on that. And I also just pray that, whatever Deshae is dealing with, we want to just rebuke in the name of Jesus, and hopefully that he can get that clarity, get some counseling, get some therapy, because he's going down a dark path. And he probably gonna get canceled for this one for sure. Ski. I'm not sure what y'all think. Comment down below if you guys have any other topics you would like to be reviewing with Kathy King, and we read the Bible on those topics as well. Okay, and also to make sure that you guys head on over to the Kathy King YouTube and watch some of those live streams we talked about. Our Bible tea parties. We're in the Old Testament. I also gave you guys the verse of the day. I also showed you guys proof that Jesus is alive. So don't be going around hitting people on yachts, because if Jesus decided to just strike you with lightning, you're going to be in hell burning. This girl is on fire. That's going to be your song. You're going to be burning, friend. You better gouge that eye out, close them legs, and keep your hands to yourself. Okay? And that's that on that. It's your girl, Kathy King. And I am out. Hugs and kisses. And I'll see you soon.